Hi, this is Moria Majumdar on Sports Today, and today why am I alone? The point is, I'll take your questions. That's why I'm alone. No, that's not the point. The point is, Pragyan Ojha, because of the cyclone, has had a power cut in his house. There was a storm in Pune. Rizima Pathak also had a power cut and has no light, no electricity at home. So here I am. We have promised you on Sports Today that we will be there, so we will be there. Why am I alone? I'm not alone. You guys are there. My teammates are there. We are a big family on Sports Today, and you guys are as much important to me as anybody else. And there goes Rajarshi Gupta. Wonderful to see you, my friend, in that Super India T-shirt. Uh, Lovely to see you, Rajarshi. Again, the point is proved about bowling depth. It is all about depth, depth, depth. If you see, your man Ben Stokes was performing. Joss Butler started very well. We said Jofra Archer. Jofra Archer was sensational today. Individuals are doing the job for Rajasthan. Steven Smith, unfortunately, is not being able to contribute, as a result of which there are some big holes. But look at that bowling attack. Tushar Deshpande 2, Aksar Patel run out plus wicket, Ravi Ashwin wicket, Rabada wickets, Enrique Nokia wickets. Marcus Stoinis was not even used. So that is what is winning cricket games. And now we can safely say they will be one of the top two Delhi Capitals.
Boria, it was a very interesting question that one of our viewers asked us this morning. Remember when they wanted to draw parallels between Jofra Archer and Kagiso Rabada? And that's what exactly he said. Jofra Archer is a brilliant performer, no doubts about that. But Kagiso Rabada, even and remember, he did not have an off day. But who had the better bowling figures between Archer and Rabada? Archer, 3 for 90. What did Rabada do? 1 for 28. But Enrique Nokia, he picked up that crucial wicket. Butler was going slam bam, right? He came and nipped him out of the bud. Robbie Uthappa, we were all talking about it. You were talking about it. Pragyan also mentioned Robbie Uthappa's role and performance for the Royals this IPL. He was going great guns. He looked like he could take them closer with Tewatia for support. What does he do? He comes and removes him. Kagiso Rabada picks up a wicket at the end. So that is exactly what we were discussing, the depth of the Delhi Capitals. 4 players affected with injuries, and obviously Shimron Hetmar having to move out. And like you rightly said, Stoinis wasn't even used because the game looked like it could go close, but they had already done their job. Nokia with his early blow and Rabata's bowling. Ashwin. Can we ever
See,
forget that?
that is the point. At any point in time, the moment the asking rate starts touching 8.5, 9, these guys know they will pull it back because they have the bowling on a slowish wicket. And I've said this 200 times on Sports Today, I'm saying it again, 160 is par. 160 yesterday was defended, 160 today was defended. With time, another week, you will see 150 becoming par because the tracks are used, the tracks are slow, the tracks are tired like you and me. At the end of the day, we are tired, so our energies are not the same. The energy in that track is not the same. But that ball, Rajarshi, 156 kilometers
My
to
goodness.
Josh
Yeah.
Butler and then 155 to clean him up. That is quality pace.
Absolutely quality pace, and that is what we keep talking about. This is sheer joy. Boria, when you talk about paces around the world, we've gone back in history, we've enjoyed some great paces. Jofra Archer now, just with Bumrah. We talked about Kagiso Rabada, but this guy, Nokia, he's just shown his class. And remember, the first half, like you rightly mentioned, the pitches are getting slower, they're getting sluggish. But what about the first half of the pitches, especially Sharjah, right? They were batting belters. Dubai, obviously, it had a little bit of assistance for the seam bowlers, but Abu Dhabi, again, this guy has shown relentless pace. Uh, you know, uh, there is joy. There is joy in watching these guys bowl, especially Enrique Nokia. When you see them steaming in and bowling that ball you just mentioned, he now Enrique Nokia, in fact, has the first 3 fastest deliveries in IPL history under his belt. And what a performance! What a pick this was for the Delhi Capitals. Absolutely spot on. It was a great game to watch if you're a connoisseur of fast bowling.
Okay, before I take questions and before we go on with other issues, let me tell you guys two things. One, Virat Kohli and Pep Guardiola. How about that as a combo? Pep Guardiola, yes, you heard me right, Manchester City. Anyone who's a Manchester City fan, if you go to the Manchester City Stadium and if you enter and do a tour of that stadium, you go and inside, there is a seat designated Pep Guardiola. Tushar Deshpande, exciting talent. Chinmay Mukherjee, I'll take that question. Let me tell you first. Tushar Deshpande started as a ball boy in IPL 2008. He was a ball boy. He was a ball boy. He was an under 13 player for Mumbai at that point in time. This is what the IPL is all about. Dreams coming true. Tushar Deshpande was a ball boy. Today he picks up Ben Stokes and he picks up another one, closes the game for his side. How about that as a dream coming true? That's what it is all about. Yes, he's an exciting talent. 2018 in the domestic competition, second highest wicket taker in the domestic T20 competition. That's Tushar Deshpande. To finish my story and go to Rajesh. So if you enter the Manchester City Stadium, there is a designated place. There is a designated place, and it's marked Pep Guardiola. And the tour, question for Moria Majumdar, is Delhi struggling with injury concerns? Hussein Gadiwala, I'll take Hussein your question. But so the tour guide tells you, don't sit in that seat, that's Pep's seat. If you have seen the documentary Manchester City All for Nothing, and you will see Fabian Delph exploding after that loss to Man U, 2018-19 January, and all Pep Guardiola says, you want to blame me? You want to blame someone? Blame me, not another player. This team doesn't blame other players. It's about me. Virat Kohli, the best we have, the greatest perhaps of white ball cricket in chasing, spoke to Pep Guardiola. We are putting that video out for you tomorrow. Thanks to Puma, we are putting that video out. Rajarshi is working on it. He will give you a story as well. The second thing, Virat Kohli takes on Ravi Bishnoi tomorrow. And Ravi Bishnoi, imagine his dream coming true, bowling the greatest of all time. And what does Bishnoi have to say about it? We spoke to Ravi Bishnoi, asking that Punjab ka puttar, what are you planning against Virat Kohli? And he's talking to me and Pragyan Ocha about spin, about his strategies to Virat Kohli. So watch out for that exclusive conversation on Sports Today tomorrow. So plenty of exclusives coming your way. Rajashi, why don't you take that question? Injury concerns.
Look, the injury concerns, yes, we've discussed that in the morning, but that is the depth of the Delhi Capitals. Amit Mishra already ruled out, Rishabh Pant out for a week, at least 7-8 days. Because of Rishabh Pant, there has been two immediate changes, right? Shubman Atmayer has had to go out, Carey comes in. Rahane, yes, he's had a couple of matches, but he's missed out. He's too good a batsman to keep missing out for too long. But in a tournament like this, when you're sitting out for so long, you're coming and straight away facing the pace of Rabada and Nokia. It's not easy. No matter, even if it's the someone of Rahane's class, it's not easy. But look, Delhi Capitals have shown it. They're like the Australian team of the late 90s and the noughties. When they would come back relentlessly. You had Stuart McGill, you had Brad Hodge, you name a player and they had a replacement. And the Delhi Capitals this season have looked absolutely sharp. And, it is almost, Boria, if you allow me to coin that term, it has almost been Australia-esque, right? They have had a replacement for every player. I mean, who would have thought? I think both you and Pragyan discussed this morning, we were all in agreement that any other team with three and then four players effectively, unsettling the equation would have struggled. But the Delhi Capitals, absolute gem. This has been great coaching, the early mentorship of a certain legend, and I think astute leadership from Shreyas Iyer. Astute.
No question. I mean, Gaurav Kumar asked, how about Pragyan Ocha? Pragyan's doing okay. It's just that, Hyderabad had torrential downpour and rain and cyclone. There's been intermittent electricity cuts at Pragyan's house. He will come back. So tomorrow you'll have him back. Shubham Patil asks why Stokes for opening. He played well, Ben Stokes. He was starting to look good. That change of pace of Tushar Deshpande, I thought Ben Stokes was looking extremely good. The way he played against Ashwin was quality. The way he played Rabada was quality. Ben Stokes is a quality. I mean, and Jofra Archer and Ben Stokes. Even after today, I think among that last four scuffle, Rajasthan Royals look the best. If Steve Smith starts to contribute, look at the three other foreigners. They are all starting to look good. If Steve Smith comes good, that is a big hole. That's a big hole, Rajarshi, as far as I'm concerned. But Archer, Butler, and Stokes are starting to contribute. Archer is in a different league now. But Stokes and Butler starting to contribute. One comes big, Rajasthan will be that fourth team perhaps to make the playoffs, because Sunrisers, CSK, Kolkata all struggling. Hussein, question for Boriada was what is this question? Can you read that, Rajesh, for me? There's some white.
No, I cannot. I am on the phone. I cannot quite get this question here.
Okay, let me get it. What was that Samson wicket and that over from Aksa? Oh, very good question. Very good question, Hussein. Yes, but you know what? It was important for Akshar Patel to sort of get that. And did you see the arm ball? Came in beautiful with the arm because Sanju Samson had gone after him, and Shane Warne was applauding that six. But that's Sanju Samson's problem. Somebody asked me, "Will he finish it?" I said, "Nobody except Sanju Samson knows, and Sanju Samson himself also doesn't." So that is Sanju Samson for you. So it was a beautiful ball. Akshar Patel, Rajoshi, that shows mentality and temperament.
Absolutely, that showed mentality, that showed temperament, and that six that he got hit off. I think that was it was what 102-meter six. I think that was the one that went off. And again, Moria, talking about replacements, talking about Australia-esque performances from the Delhi Capitals and the replacements showed great mentality, showed great presence of mind. To come back. Pragyan will tell you tomorrow that it is not always that easy. You have to be mentally very strong. He was the first spinner to win the purple cap in the IPL. It is not easy because you're constantly being hit. Boundaries are shorter. In the T20 format, the boundaries are pulled back in further. And that six, it could have, it could have demoralized the best of bowlers. It was a shot of intent. It was a huge shot, and the way he's come back and the way he's performed, by the way, since Amit Mishra has had to leave the Delhi Capitals, it's been a phenomenal performance. Akshar Patel, young mind, sharp cricketing brains, absolutely astute cricketing brains there.
Are you worried about Prithvi Shaw? Because I've been saying this consistency and the incoming delivery. There was this much gap between bat and pad, this much gap which Jofra Archer exploited. That's a chink in the armor when you play red ball cricket against quality fast bowling. If this is what is happening with the white ball, are you worried about Prithvi Shaw?
Absolutely, a little, Boria, there are two things to it. Today when he came out to bat, and I was just thinking that at the back of my head, that all he has to do is bowl a little short of length and give it to him on driving length, because he has struggled with those lengths. It was I think the second wicket that he got was a heavier length, but this was shorter length. He enticed him into it. He knew Prithvi Shaw was going to go for that shot, and he has played top flight cricket now for 2 years. And remember, there was this game in Sharjah where Prithvi was going great guns, and you and I were having a WhatsApp conversation on the group, and we said, I was really banking him to go and score 100, and you very rightly said, if not on this pitch, then where is he going to get it? And that is the kind of talent Prithvi Shaw is. People like us, we look forward. We've seen a lot of talent. We've seen a lot of players come up in front of our eyes, and that is the kind of faith we have in Prithvi Shaw, to see that he comes out and scores those crucial runs, gets those stars, and converts them into the big ones. That is how you've made Virat Kohli. You've had Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul. That is how you need to get into the groove. And this was a trap. Delhi had obviously done their the Royals obviously had done their homework very well, and this was actually phenomenally well planned. And Jofra knew exactly what to exploit.
Yeah, and some of our viewers, I think Anupam and Gaurav asked about Robbie Uthappa, and if Yashasvi Jaiswal can come, he can. And look at the kind of running from Robbie Uthappa. Bobin, pathetic. He ran out Riyan Parag. He danced, just sort of darted down the track and then left him stranded. And Riyan Parag had no other option. On the other hand, Uthappa himself almost ran himself out twice. He scored 30 if you're running three people out. Himself twice, Riyan Parag once. What is this going on? And Robbie Uthappa at no point. Did he look like winning you again? Yes, that 1-6, top edge gone, 6 from Nokia, that kind of shot. Couple of good shots towards third man, but not the Robbie Uthappa of old. Yashasvi Jaiswal, exciting prospect, so why not? Maybe Yashasvi Jaiswal at the top with Butler, Stokes 3, then Smith 4 gives them a little bit more meat, and Sanju 5 to come and close. You can think, but you've somehow got to do something, because Robbie Uthappa is not looking to win them cricket matches for sure. Like, for example, Jaidev Unadkat picked 2 today, but in the first spell, Jaidev Unadkat keeps leaking runs. There are these certain players who somehow keep getting teams, and that last ball wicket, slower ball / out. But Kartik Tyagi, to me, has looked far better than Jaidev Unadkat. Kartik Tyagi, young guy. Did you see that second spell from Tyagi? 2 overs for 8 runs, Rajoshi. That I thought brought them back into the game, Rajasthan Royals, and that shows heart from that young man.
Absolutely, and this is the heart, and this is also the leadership, astute leadership in it. Shreyas with his injury when he goes off. Obviously Shikhar Dhawan is experienced. He's played for India for so many years, for over a decade. Kartik Tyagi's spirit, young guy under the pump, under pressure. He comes up, builds that, and the lens that, you very rightly talked about the second spell, and again the lens, when obviously when we watch cricket, we see from the perspective and see how they are bowling those lengths. You see Jofra, you saw Nokia, especially on this pitch, they were hitting the heavy lengths, and sure Karthik would have been watching these greats bowling going on. He must have watched, because seeing him from his earlier days, you saw the way he also curved back his length in the latter half of the spell, in the second spell especially. Those are the things that you enjoy watching about these young India cricketers, how they learn quickly, and it is quite obvious they learn very fast.
He's got Jofra Archer to mentor him. I mean, on current form, clearly the world's best bowler. I mean, Ian Bishop tweeted, "How can you not watch Jofra Archer and feel great about it?" Absolutely, all of us do. Look at the kind of talent that that man has. I mean, picking 3 wickets, the kind of amazing regularity with which he's picking wickets, big wickets, unbelievable pace, 150 plus. He's exciting. Hello, Boria, big fan from London, big gamer. Thank you, boss. Means a lot. I mean, all of you watching this broadcast from all over the world. Okay, let me tell you this. Ask me any question you want about any cricketer in the next 15 minutes. We will keep going till 30. Any cricketer in the world. While we are talking about Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals, and we are going to sort of delve deep into another couple of points. If you want to ask about any cricketer, anyone you want a story on, ask me. I'll tell you a story. Let's have that tonight. But for Rajoshi, the story is for you. 155, 56 we keep talking about, and it's how difficult it is. Now, Sachin Tendulkar tells me 2008 tour of Australia. Okay, Shubham Patil, RR already have guys who can open. RR is missing finishers. Rahul can't do it alone. They need Stokes. The point. I mean, Stokes can very well come and finish the game, but for that, Stephen Smith needs to fire at the top of the order and score runs. Because the problem is, the chink now is Stephen Smith. Do you agree, Rajoshi, before I come to the Sachin story and tell you that?
Absolutely, Boria. We've talked about the three coming into. And Josh Butler, for instance, that was a peach of a delivery to get out to, but he looked like he was out there with an intent. And Steve Smith, struggling. He struggled in all kinds of pitches. He had a good start. I think he had a couple of 50s to start off with. He took that bold decision to open for the first time in T20 cricket. I think that was the first time he was opening in any kind of format. He came and scored a half century. Since then, he's withered away. But again, his leadership too. His leadership and his mentoring men. We've talked about Kartik Tyagi, about how he's learning from the best, watching Jofra bowl over and over. You're playing against the Delhi Capitals. He's picking up tricks of the trade from the best. Steve Smith's mentoring, not just his batting, Boria. His some of his captaincy calls, some of his decisions on the field have left me a little baffled with what's going on in the mind of that guy. It is definitely a concern. And going forward now with 6 points from 8 matches, Steve Smith's leadership and his batting both have to come back to what they are, what we know Steve Smith for.
Yeah, and if a captain starts underperforming, it rubs off on his captaincy also. Chinmoy is asking stories on Mahi, and somebody, Shomujit, I think, asked me stories of Sachin. Okay, let me tell you the Sachin story first quickly. So, Shomujit, yeah, I'll tell you Sachin stories. So, this is one. This is for Rajoshi, as I said. 2008 tour of Australia, 150, 51, Brett Lee was bowling. So, he bowls this beamer. Sachin Tendulkar gets hit here on the shoulder. His son, who was watching from the stands, felt he could have broken something. It was a beamer straight into the body, bowled at 150, and Brett Lee goes up to Sachin Tendulkar, says something in kind of banter. And Sachin Tendulkar, being Sachin Tendulkar, did not say a word. And Sachin realized that he's hit him there, and it's real, sort of, it's hurt him. And as Brett Lee was walking up to his mark, all Sachin said to himself was, if the next ball is at 150, even before Lee delivers the ball and gets up, the ball will hit the boundary. And he tells me this. He said, he bowled 150 full-length ball. You can go and see it on YouTube. He bowled full length. Sachin hit a straight drive. That, according to Sachin, is one of his favorite shots of all time. By the time Brett Lee sort of stood up after delivering the ball had hit the long-off fence and came back. Wow. That was the power of that shot from Sachin Tendulkar. 151.1, if I remember from memory, was the speed of that ball. Before Brett Lee could put his head up, the ball had hit the long-off fence and come back. That is Sachin Tendulkar.
Legend.
Unbelievable. Pain, injury. I can keep telling you, Sachin, stories about pain and injury. This is what makes sport what it is. Rajoshi, now, does Rajasthan Royals have a chance from here? I still think that fourth spot six teams are,
Yeah.
Rajasthan still perhaps the better off among the bottom four.
Mathematically, yes. Look, Boria, what happens is in these tournaments is there are certain seasons where the top three teams are winning a lot of games. In this case, Delhi and Mumbai, they're going to end up with, let's say, 16 or 18 points, which means they're winning 9 out of the 14 games, right? Which is a phenomenal performance. It could even be 20. We've had seasons where teams have even struggled with 15 or 14 points. But the good thing about the IPL being held in the Middle East is your matches are not going to be interrupted by rain. Every year, you've had matches being interrupted by rain, let's say in Bangalore, some off-season summer rain in Delhi, thereabout. But the good thing is that for all these teams who are the Sixers teams, right? Chennai Super Kings, Rajasthan Royals, you're beginning to almost but count out Kings 11 Punjab because they've only won 2 games from 7 or 8 matches. But yes, mathematically they have those chances. But how does it work from here? Because 6 matches, you at least have to win 4 more to add to 14. Because and remember, these matches are now. This is the second half of the IPL, so they're going to. A lot of these bottom-run teams are going to play the top-run teams who are comfortable, who are settled. And imagine for Delhi Capitals, as soon as Rishabh Pant gets back into the side after that injury layoff, he comes out all guns blazing. They're even stronger. Mumbai Indians are already well settled. RCB are becoming stronger and stronger every day. Kolkata Knight Riders, Andre Russell comes back to form. They address Sunil Narayan's fitness concerns. It is not going to be that easy. It is mathematically it is all possible. But like you said, Steve Smith is that one chink in the armor. That man needs to fire. And Ben Stokes is gradually getting there. I was wearing that red shirt. I was rooting for him. I suddenly decided red and blue would sort of optimize my choice for Ben Stokes. He was my punt for fantasy cricket. Had Royals won it, who knows? Maybe an unbeaten 70 or 80 somewhere. But yes, if Steve Smith comes into his own, who knows? You never know.
No, I actually think Rajasthan have a chance because Steve Smith, if he gets a couple of big shots, big innings under his belt, Rajasthan Royals still have definitely a chance. Okay, let me tell you once again. Tomorrow, Virat Kohli versus Kings 11 Punjab. That Virat Kohli has said 3 things to KL Rahul today. He and AB de Villiers. Virat Kohli's quote. Rajesh has done the story that Instagram conversation with KL Rahul that he and AB de Villiers should be banned from T20 cricket. What a conversation. The way Virat Kohli described Paul Rifle calling that wide and not calling that wide of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Virat Kohli has said something fascinating today. We are putting out that show for you tomorrow. We are putting out that show. Virat Kohli in conversation with KL Rahul. Virat Kohli in conversation with Pep Guardiola. Blame Rajarshi if he's late. But Rajarshi is going to put that story out. My colleague, Rajarshi's colleague Abhin, who is our producer here. Between Abhin and Rajarshi, they are putting that show out for you. Watch that. And then that exclusive. Pragyan Ojha, myself in conversation with Ravi Bishnoi and how Bishnoi is wanting to bowl to Kohli. And if he does get Kohli out or de Villiers out, how is that kid going to celebrate? He shared his thoughts. I was so innocent and so sweet when Ravi Bishnoi was saying to us, what he will do if he gets Virat Kohli out or AB de Villiers out. You don't want to miss that. Watch this on Sports Today. We will keep bringing you exclusives. And if there is a delay, we promise you by 12 o'clock you will have these shows tomorrow. Watch them. You'll love them. And if there is a delay, to keep tweeting with the Sports Today tag and blame Rajarshi and Abhin. They are the ones to blame, not me. Okay, last few minutes on the show.
There are several people working 24/7 who will get that out as soon as possible because there are plenty of ways.
Rajarshi and Abhin are superhuman people, so they are the people. Yeah. Forget me. I'm bogus. Having said that, okay, last few minutes on the show. Rajarshi, Delhi Capitals once again has proven today they are the team to watch out for along with Mumbai Indians. Are you worried about Shreyas Iyengar's injury? Though he was sort of sitting there looking quite composed and calm. But and when he got up also he was okay. But would you take such chances? I mean, when you know that okay, 1 run or whatever, would you take such chances?
Good point, actually, Boria. I was just checking to see who came up for the post-match presentation. It is Shikhar Dhawan, by the way, who came out for the post-match presentation. So you never know. Maybe he's getting an ice pack done. Maybe he's getting an X-ray done. We don't know. We don't. At least as of now, I don't have any update on his injuries. But yes, it did look a little concerning. And with Delhi all but secured of a playoff berth, why risk him for the next couple of games? If it needs to be addressed, maybe just rest him for a couple of games. Let him have a week's rest. 3-4 days rest, come back. Shikhar Dhawan, by the way, I thought did a very, very good job of leading the team. When you said Robin Uthappa probably didn't look like finishing the match for the Royals, but with him, he had Tewatia with him, and that is all Tewatia needs. And they were getting into that Tewatia territory. They were getting into the Tewatia zone. I thought Shikhar Dhawan handled things pretty well. We need to see really what the injury is like. Maybe they're just taking extra precautions. But yes, is it worth the risk now for the next couple of matches? I would think not.
I agree with you. I mean, Shreyas Iyer, Australia series coming. You've got to be a little careful. You just can't sort of do things to hurt yourself, and more when your team is on a roll. I mean, they are almost sort of certain of the playoff spot, eyeing the first two positions. So why, when you're in such batting form, the way you are batting, the way he tonked those two sixes was sensational to see. Shreyas Iyer every game, and the way he was when Shikhar Dhawan was going today, he was playing second fiddle. The moment Dhawan got out, he took the charge. Shreyas Iyer has been absolutely phenomenal this season. Phenomenal. So to end, Rajoshi, Delhi Capitals for you, 1 and 2, definitely 1 and 2.
Yes, absolutely. The Delhi Capitals, I don't see any other equation, Boria. Given the way Delhi Capitals have gone,
Okay,
given
so
the way
let me ask you a tougher one. We've all said 1, 2, 3 is Delhi, Mumbai, and RCB. Tell me your top two.
top two, Delhi Capitals, Mumbai Indians.
Okay, so then Rajoshi is going Delhi Capitals, Mumbai Indians. He's discounting RCB there. I think RCB can well be the joker in that pack. Once again, because of the bowling. Bowling wins you cricket matches and cricket competitions. And Delhi, Mumbai, and RCB. Look at the bowling depth. Delhi, we've already told you. Mumbai. Pattinson, I think, can be replaced by Kultanai because he was running out of steam. They've got Bubra, they've got Bolt, they've got Chahar, they've got Krunal Pandya, they've got Kyron Pollard. So they've got backup. Look at Bangalore now. Washington Sundar, Siraj, Saini, Chris Morris, Yuzvendra Chahal, Isuru Udana, backup, Shivam Dubey. So Virat has got 7 options there. That's what wins you cricket competitions and cricket matches. So plenty to watch out on sports today. Rajarshi, myself, as I said, 2 exclusive shows coming your way. Watch out tomorrow, and we will be back tomorrow. Keep watching our handles. We will post when we will be live, but obviously we will be back post match. But during the day, tell us what you feel about that Ravi Bishnoi, the sweet little kid, talking about his ambitions against Virat Kohli. Did he get overawed when he picked up that Johnny Bairstow, David Warner wicket? When he was picking those 2-3 wickets, did he ever come under pressure? Is he scared to sort of bowl to these people when they are going hammer and tongs for Ravi Bishnoi? Great kid. Listen to him because all that is good about this sport. Young kid tells you what he feels in this IPL dressing room. Rajesh, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Sports today, we love you guys. I mean, you guys make the channel. We are a week old, and look at the kind of views we are generating. Look at the kind of feedback we are generating. My special thank you to everyone. Vivek Gaur, our captain, behind the scenes, made this happen. Abhin, top guy. I mean, I keep pushing you, Abhin. Apologies on the show, but put out those 2 shows for our viewers. Rajarshi, absolute special chap. Works hardest. Riddhima, get your electricity back, need you back. I call you Lady Sports today. And of course, our dear friend Pragyan Oja has had to suffer that cyclone, but tomorrow he will be back. Fingers crossed for better weather, and fingers crossed tomorrow for that contest. Who do you take? KL Rahul versus Virat Kohli. I take KL Rahul and Virat Kohli. Let both score. Rajarshi, last words to you.
Backing Virat Kohli to go through with this because it's too much riding on the RCB to get slip this one. And by the way, Boria just talked about the Puma interviews that we're putting out tomorrow, the Virat Kohli interviews. Just with that 1 minute, Boria, he said, like you mentioned, right? He's talked about that line where he said, IPL should ban, obviously joking, ban Virat and ABD Villiers for what they're doing to bowlers, especially ABD for what he does to bowlers. And KL also said that they'll go in with a bit of confidence because one of their only 2 victories came against RCB, and Virat conceded that was one of the heaviest defeats. So it's going to be spicy. Both KL and Virat are very good friends, but it'll be a spicy one.
Best buddies. They are the best buddies. Yeah. And it'll be terrific. I mean, that is all sport is all about, right? Mutual confidence, grace, dignity, and respect. That's what sports today stands for. Grace, dignity, respect, and storytelling. We love telling you stories. We love you guys. Thank you very much, and good night.